And Gray goes to answer and he's like, please speak when you're spoken to. I'm asking her. Now, I tell her, there's no need of a fight, just let her be. So, I go to sleep. I don't even care if Gray has escorted her or whatever. He comes in the middle of the night, he sleeps. In the morning, I tell him, so whatever you've been discussing with that girl, I've seen her before, because I saw her at his mom's funeral. So I'm going to go and ask your sister what type of therapy she does. So Gray starts getting scared. And I'm like, why are you being scared if you guys were discussing about grief? So when I tell the sister tells me they've had a thing before. So now I tell him, we're making 5 steps ahead, then we're going back 6 steps. What's going on? And I tell him, you once said when we met, you love me until you can't. And I made peace with that because I know there are people who can't love people forever and it's fine. So if you feel your feelings are not in this, I feel it's good you lift yourself and tell me, or you just come to me and tell me we can't work. Let's just co-parent. Because this is hurting me more than I think it's hurting you. And I leave for work. Because now I don't even want to hear the lies he wants to say. So I'm thinking he's put his shit together now after that. So after a week, I come back. I used to come back in the weekends. And I find the house with aquariums. And I ask him, where do you get fish? And he tells me that lady brought. I'm like, wow, your therapy sessions must be quite expensive. So I lift, now I'm angry. I've started becoming the toxic one. So I lift the aquariums and I'm throwing them over the balcony. And he starts getting violent. And I tell him, if you dare touch me, it's either one of us who's going to fall over. And he tells me, you need to accept she's in our lives. And I tell him, maybe in yours, but me, I'm leaving now. I've tried even with your family. And since it looks like I'm the one who's putting in the work, acha tu mi niende. So he tells me, ni sawa, enda. So I tell him, you mean enda kabisa ama? And he says, me sijui, now that's on you to decide. Since you left and you came back, I'm sure you're going to come back. And true to the word, he was right. I came back later. Not that time, I stayed 2 months and I came back to that same relationship. So now I've gotten a very nice job. So I'm thinking the person to share this news with is a person I love. So I tell him, because there's that point he used to say, we're fighting so much because of financial instability or something. And when you do watch the news, you see, yes, people are running into depression. And I'm thinking, yes, it may be true. Maybe it's because money issues, ndio maana tuna fight. So I come and tell him and he tells me, oh, that's nice. And now this time I even find the girl is not there. And the caretaker keeps telling me he's been very good and he doesn't have girls coming over and all that. His brother had been making calls and telling me he's gone for rehab. So even the smoking has reduced. So I tell him, okay, fine. He tells me, oh, you've come on a nice day. We're going for a party with my friends. And they used to hire a car. So it used to be if you're 3, everyone takes a responsibility. You either pay for the car, others pay for the drinks, like that. So I tell him, okay, fine, no problem. So how much are we
contributing?
Yes. Yeah. He tells me 13,000. And I'm like, for all of us, or you mean for one of us? And I'm like, no, each of us. So I ask him, where are we sending the money to? I had 10,000 in my M-Pesa. Sharing this even makes me feel I was stupid. So I send him the 10,000. As I was, you see how you go to an M-Pesa so that they transact from the bank? Because that time the internet banking was not so. So I hear a car driving. And I'm like, maybe they're reversing. So I walk out and the lady tells me, wamekuacha. I'm like,
what?
I hop onto a bike because I know now where they go to party. I go there and I find this girl that I found in the house with a bottle of Smirnoff and a 6-pack of Snap. And I sit right next to her and I wait for Ray to come from the washroom. And I ask him, and what am I drinking? I also sent money. And this girl starts saying, I can't sit on the table with her. And tell her, could you please keep quiet? Whatever you're drinking is my money. So I feel you should actually be speaking to me more than him. So Grace starts telling this girl, it's fine, I'm going to protect you, she won't beat you. So on the table, I noticed there's keys. So I guess it is house keys. So the Bodak guy I had was waiting for me. So I hop on the bike and I go back to his house. Because I'm thinking this girl has no bag. And according to how they used to speak of her, their family is a bit well off. So I get to the house and I find like 40,000 on the table. Apparently it's her rent. I take it. And I tell Gray, if you want it, come to my place and get it. And he tells me, I'm going to tell your mom. I'm like, fine, I'll even send you my auntie's number. Everyone else you'd like to tell. Now I don't even care. Later on, I realize I'm not this type of person. I put the money on M-Pesa and I send it back to him. All of it.
Minus your 13,000?
Yes.
Minus your 10,000?
Yes.
I hope. Okay. Ooh, this is getting toxic AF.
I know.
Yeah, it's messy.
So I decide, now let's do this. Now let it be you making the effort. You call me if you want to talk to me or text me. Let me stop and see if I can get out of this being the safe one and sane. So since we had mutual friends, I'll not stop talking to the friends because at first I didn't know the friends were in on all this drama. So we get a mutual friend who has a birthday party.
They were in on leaving you. Yani, this guy actually you sent money to his phone and then they drove off.
Yeah.
Not even caring how you're going to get home or if that was the only money you had in your M-Pesa.
He left even with my bag in the car.
Was he drunk?
No.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I knew his friends later on. I realized even the hooking up with other girls, they knew about it. And when I was in a sitting where they were, and maybe a girl he's ever had a thing with when we were together comes in, they'd change the story or they'd throw her out. Like they look like they're on my side. So later on is when these girls are telling me, you keep shouting at your man, and actually your friends are usually there whenever we're there.
Mm.
So this mutual friend invites us for a party. Now this is the first time he hits me. Mm-hmm. He comes and he walks straight to me, and I'm sitting down next to this guy, and he slaps me. And it's the first time ever he's ever laid his hands on me, and I'm shocked.
So at this point, you're back off because you were on and off many times.
Yes.
So this is after you've sent him back the money, and now your relationship is off.
Yes.
You're not together.
Yes.
But you go to a mutual friend's party. Okay, got it.
And the mutual friends party, the owner of the guy now hosting the party had already mentioned to me, I don't think Gray is coming because he'd been saying he doesn't want to come. So you come. I had decided to ask him first so that I know what to tell you. So I go and I'm having fun, and he just walks straight to me. He slaps me and he pours drink on me. And the guy now lashes and asks him, what's wrong with you? And he says, so you're hosting a party to be with every girl I've ever been with. And I ask him, but I'm not with him. I just came to the party. So now I'm crying and I'm hysterical, but it's close to my mom's workplace. So I walk out and I just go and drive with my mom. My mom drives us home. But she doesn't know that me and him have had an altercation or something. She just thinks the party was bad, and since I'm going through a breakup, all that. So she doesn't ask. So a few months later now, I go back to the relationship. So now this is when I started now knowing that I am also a part of this toxicity. Because I've proven to myself I can't be with anyone else other than him. So now it becomes more physical than emotional or whatever abuse. So he beats me when he can. He brings in girls to the house. And we're with the baby. We've moved in with the baby.
How old is the baby at this point?
Around 1 year, because we had already done the 1 year birthday party. So around 1 year, 3 months, I decide, okay, you're doing your thing with other girls, but we will not do it in front of the baby. Now let this be those old school marriages where it is toxic, but it is not shown at home. So I will pretend you're a nice dad, but you will not bring your drama inside this house. So he comes home with a female, and I tell him she's not coming in. So the girl leaves. Now when she sees the drama is too much. So the baby was asleep. So he starts beating me. He's kicking me. And I think I fall unconscious. He leaves. So the baby wakes up and I'm not moving. So since now they can stammer 2-3 words, he goes and calls the neighbor and says, Mama, I'm key. So me, I wake up in a hospital and I have like dentures. I had dreadlocks. So I've been stitched like 3 or 4.
On your head?
Yes. So it seems maybe he hit me and I hit something hard on the floor or something, because the neighbor told me there was no blood. So he didn't hit you with something. It's either he hit you against something. So he comes to the hospital and he comes with his sister. They tell me sorry and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And kumbe, he's told them I fell while at work in the office, because I used to work. But the brother now, the big brother, is like, what would make her fall and hit her head this hard? But he doesn't ask. So he goes in with the story of she's rheumatic, maybe she got a seizure, and he doesn't let me talk. So I don't have a chance to give a different story. So we go back, and now he threatens me and he tells me, if you leave me, I'm going to kill you. So we go back to the house. Now we start living that way too. I get paid. He goes, he removes all the money from my card. And even if I don't carry the card to work, he will beat me. So I'd rather just leave it. I don't have a phone now in the office because his friends have started suspecting I'm in an abusive marriage. So I wouldn't wear short-sleeved dresses. Even during theme days, I'd tell them I can't, because most times I have marks. And it was so toxic because he'd beat me and then he'd tell me, he'd force me to be intimate with him. And he's like, it's not a choice. It's not like I'm asking. Since he's withdrawing all my money, I have to walk to work. I'd walk very far distances to work. And it's because now, we've drained the account, the only account we have that has money. So it's either we feed or we have fare to work. So
you used to walk to work, and before you'd be able to use like public transport?
Yeah, I'd even be able to Uber. I used to be paid well.
My goodness.
So I have to, shifts would come in. The good thing is the jobs I'd get had very flexible shifts. So they would not be so early and so late. So I'd still have time to walk. So at times, when I'd go home, because I have to go home and take my baby to see the grandmother and all that. So at least now there I have room to heal. Even my feet now have started becoming sore and all that. So my mom would notice and she'd ask me, it seems you spend so much time in water, because they'd only assume you'd get such blisters because of water. And tell her, I think our floors at the apartment are very bad.